Okay, I want to welcome you all to Artificial Intelligence, getting the most out of AI. We have two fantastic presenters for you today, a collaborative effort between two different SCORE chapters, Dr. David Ewen and Rob Stutzman, and we're very pleased to have them here presenting on this topic. So, as we get going, though, I want to make sure that you understand everything we have to offer at SCORE so that you're taking full advantage. Our goal, as you may know, is to share small business information and education. We do that in a couple different ways. One, through the score.org website. You're going to find lots of great information, podcasts, blogs, articles, templates you can download, previously recorded webinars, lots of information. The other way we educate is through our SCORE webinars and workshops. Those are advertised on social media, through our newsletter, and are also listed on the website as well. The most important thing that SCORE does, however, or at least in my opinion, would be the mentoring. Mentors are volunteers here at SCORE. They come to us with a variety of skills and experiences that they've learned from that they want to share with you. We work with folks that are in all stages, whether you're trying to decide if small business is right for you, you're in that planning phase, you're in your business, growing your business, or leaving your business. We have volunteers that are ready to assist you. A beginning session probably is going to run around 45 minutes, depending on the number of questions you have, but they're going to want to know about you. They're going to want to know what your goals are, what your challenges are, and they're going to work with you to come up with a plan so that you can be successful. It's not uncommon that additional mentors are brought in along that pathway to make sure that you're getting all the information you need as your questions change. So the next logical question here is, how do I get a mentor? It is actually very easy, and there are multiple different ways. Probably the easiest would be on the score.org website. There's a let us do the matching for you box. If you put in your zip code, that'll match you to the chapter that is nearest you. There'll be a contact form that pops up, and we want to know what your business is and how we can help you today. That'll allow us to match the mentor most appropriate to your questions. So we do have a large number of folks on the call today, so please try and put your questions into the Q&A on the Zoom bar so that I don't lose track of those questions. We are recording. The recording will be posted in the next 24 to 48 hours. I do know it'll be on the score.org/Boston website, but I'm speculating it'll also be posted through the Western chapter as well. Maybe David can post where that information will be into chat. So on the Boston website, it is under the blue bar, the local workshops there you can see from the pull down under previously recorded. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and allow Rob and David to take over. It's all on you.
All right. Thank you very much, Teresa. Good day, everyone. Let me just get my slides here. Hopefully everybody can see this. We like to get to know our audience. So we got a couple of questions up here. The first question is, do you use AI currently? And the second question is, which kind of AI tools are you using? So you'll see that poll come up, and while you're filling out the survey, we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. So David, why don't you go ahead?
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see everyone. We have a questionnaire, and the first questionnaire is, have you used AI tools in your business? And the second question is, to use AI tools, what are you primarily using it for? Are you creating it for marketing, collateral? We just want to get a feel of what you use AI tools for and what you're looking for. Very good.
David, would you like to tell us about yourself?
Yes, a little bit about what's happening. I'm the president and chancellor of Enterprise College, and we've been in business for 31 years. And, you know, when I started 31 years ago, many people helped me. And so the reason why I volunteer at SCORE is to pass it forward. So I started in October of last year and became the chapter chair of SCORE Western Massachusetts. So I cover the 413 area code of Western Mass, just beyond Worcester to the Berkshires. And that's a little bit about me. I'm an author and recording several audiobooks as well. It's nice to meet everyone. Enterprise College, someone asked me, it's an online university. We take American education to the nations. We partner with universities in Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and South America.
All right. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. First, I've been in business for over 40 years. And 30 of those I was with Verizon. I started in sales, moved into marketing. Uh, by the time I was done, I was leading global teams and marketing initiatives. When I retired in 2019, I started my own consulting business. And I also started volunteering with SCORE, which I heard, believe it or not, when I was in high school. SCORE's 60 years old. And I saw a commercial on TV about SCORE. And I just put it in the back of my mind that if I ever retire someday, I'm going to check this organization out. And it's been great. It's been wonderful working with colleagues like Dr. Ewen and others. And it's been great working with our clients. And likewise, I view this as my opportunity to give back because I had a wonderful career. And I hope to help others with their dreams going forward. Okay, so Teresa, you want to give us the results?
Yeah, you should see them on your screen.
Well, I see
Okay.
them as, have you ever used AI tools in your business?
Yep.
The yeses were 65%, the nos were 18%. And I plan to, that's 18%. I don't know what AI is, that was 0. And then others was 0 as well. So most people have used more 65% AI. And some of the other answers, I use AI tools primarily for creating marketing collateral, newsletters, brochures, articles, blogs, etc. Some other people use it for customer service. The other one for 16% competitive assessments. Most people used it for the marketing and collateral and newsletters, 20% customer service. The product research was 36%, and other is 28%. So that's how most people are using it.
Awesome. All right, so our agenda, we're going to talk about the history of AI and give you a little bit of a background. We're going to talk about some use cases, and then we're going to really focus on generative AI. AI is a very broad topic in and of itself, but one of the subsets of AI is generative AI. So we're going to define it, talk about the different types. We'll talk about prompts and applications. We'll talk about some tools, and then we'll show you some demos, and we're going to talk about prompts at the end of our call today as well. David, over to you.
What is the excitement about? Why the big thing? Now, the company that runs ChatGPT, and everyone's heard the name ChatGPT, is actually 10 years old. Okay, it's 5 years before the pandemic. So it was eons ago. And Sam Altman is the current CEO of OpenAI. That phrase GPT is a type of neural network language model, sort of that code that's hidden inside of ChatGPT and what makes it successful. Now, ChatGPT was released right after Thanksgiving in 2022. So while everyone was dealing with Black Friday and diving into the holiday season, it was really noticed at the beginning of 2023. So effectively, that's when it really started hitting the ground. As you see in number 5, where it revolutionized AI worldwide rapidly, I call it sort of an iPhone moment. It was a flashpoint when, well, that's why we're doing this webinar today. It's when things really started to change. And to you, Rob.
Uh,
As I mentioned before, ChatGPT is an iPhone moment of global change. Okay. Both came out when technology was ready to improve. Okay. So, for example, there are some old ideas that were made to be much better. Okay. Just Google by itself wasn't going to stay as it was. So, when iPhone came out, it changed how people use devices and talk to computers. Well, that's also happening with ChatGPT, and that's why we call it an iPhone moment. Big changes happened right after iPhone. Nobody can live without an iPhone. Yesterday, I went to a business meeting. I left my wallet at home, but I did remember my my iPhone, so I was okay. But anyways, the whole environment is such that big, powerful technology is made easier. And it set rules for how we live our lives, be it in business, be it at work, be it at play. Okay. A lot of people plan vacation using AI, for example. So now everyone is sort of getting in the wave of the technology. There is a person that Sarah asked, do you recommend business owners have an AI policy on our websites? It depends. We'll dive deeper into that. That's a short question with a long answer. And I say that for the note taking and the audio recording, but we'll take that to the side. Let's talk about what GPT. Oh, you're right, Rob. You can jump ahead to that next. Thank you, Rob. Let's talk about what some of the vocabulary is. We heard the word ChatGPT, and everyone's asking, well, what does GPT means? And it says generative pre-trained transformer. Three big words in one phrase. Well, generative means it can create new content like text and images. And for those 65% that we saw in our Q&A, you saw that people are using it to create text. They're using it to create image. You can use it to create audio. Pre-trained means it's trained on a large amount of data before being used. Many of you using ChatGPT remember when it first came out in November of 2022, it was using a database at that time about a couple years old. Okay. So it's processing a vast amount of data. Now the transformer, it's a type of AI model that understands language well. To give you an idea of what we mean by understanding language well, it's voice to text. And then that text is then processed against that pre-trained database, which in turn generates an outcome. So that's where generative pre-trained transformer comes from. We talk about, well, these tools that most are commonly used is NLP, which is natural language processing. Natural language refers to human languages like English or Spanish. Okay, processing means computerized and analyze and work with human languages. And I see Sarah asked a question. I'm working on a white paper and have asked ChatGPT and Gemini to only pull data from my website. Do I need a AI source? Let's hold that question to the end. There's a lot of detailed questions, so we want to get through a lot of material. So Sarah, just follow up with us. And next slide. Thank you. So let's talk about generative AI. As we talked about, we're putting this here. I'm going to give you an example. Generative AI refers to this artificial intelligence system that creates something. For example, you type in a prompt, create a picture of whatever, and then it creates an outcome. Now, in this picture you see on the slide, which is this very unusual picture, I just used ChatGPT, said create an image of a futuristic city on Mars at sunset. That's what it created. If I did it again right now at this moment, it might be a different picture. But this is what it means when we say generative AI. We give a prompt and it generates something. Very often, most people are generating text. Create a product description of something. and then it creates the product description, which will help you in your brochures and other marketing material. That's what generative AI means. It generates something. And Rob, can you go to the next slide? Okay. Now, one of the fears, right? People have fear, right? AI won't shut down your business. AI won't take away your job. The people using AI will shut down your business. You know, it was Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, who said, "Hey, back in 1998, when Microsoft was created, people were afraid of that. Not, I should say, 1998, when Google was created, people were afraid of Google. You know, the big computer, it's so powerful now. And now we use Google as a verb. In 1977, he remembers how people responded to Microsoft. So anyways, that's a fascinating topic. Next slide. And yes. So let's take a look at how your competitors are using AI to win your customers. Okay. And this is what you need to get involved with as well, or you're encouraged to. There's a variety of things that AI will be doing to really support your business and your future of your business. A lot of these tasks that are created by you that take a lot of time, they're repetitive. You can save time by automating that. Not only that, and number two, whatever you automate, you can also make better. You can improve your customer service. This is number two, enhances. You can make automatic responses. That's why a lot of websites have these chatbots that are getting more clever. The other thing that happens is number three, you can analyze data to improve marketing strategies effectively by asking questions. Another area of analyzing is ChatGPT actually codes in Python so that life sciences specialists can look at these vast amounts of data of, you know, the data that's collected with trees that are growing for hundreds of years. You can also optimize inventory management for better stock control. So that way you have what's in stock on time, sort of like a just-in-time inventory. You can also support your decision-making process, getting all factors involved. You can increase productivity because you're doing everything faster and better. And because you're doing things faster and better, number seven, you can identify new opportunities. And these new opportunities can, in a way, predict the future better than you could with the confusion that business has in itself. With all of that, you're able to reduce your operational costs because you're becoming more efficient. That being done, your small business is in a much better place to compete. And Rob, next slide, please.
Okay, I guess over to me. So just kind of dovetailing on what David has mentioned already, that some of the use cases that people have out there is looking at customer service and how can they either enhance their customer service or streamline their customer service. AI can do that through chatbots. You can put in facial recognition if you have an application that is perhaps highly secure. You can put facial recognition in using AI. Create personalized marketing. The sales process has really changed. It used to be you could kind of broadcast stuff out there and then people would, do business with you based on something. Well, today people want to be nurtured. They want to get to know you. They want to know about you. They want to get to a point where they feel like they can trust you. And when they feel like they can trust you, then they're ready to do business. And so personalized marketing really enables you to set yourselves apart from your competition by being very specific with your clientele out there. And AI, really it has been around for a while now. The generative AI is really the new thing, but AIs in autonomous vehicles, such as Teslas, the self-driving vehicles. They're incorporating AI in what they do. In healthcare, they use it for medical image analysis. In financial, you can use it for credit screening, and for security, cybersecurity, you can use it for fraud analysis. And in manufacturing, people have been using AI in the form of robotics. So, AI is not necessarily new. It's the generative aspect of AI that is really new. And so the types of AI that you have is the ability to take text and create text. And as David was saying, that's the majority of the way that people are using AI today. The second most popular thing that people are doing is text to image. And he showed you the example of creating a city from a prompt. But you can also do text to slides. Microsoft recently incorporated into their Microsoft Office the ability to create slides from a prompt using their version of generative AI, which they call Copilot. You can do text to music, and that's sending some shockwaves through the industry where people are, concerned about copyright issues and what if somebody, takes my lyrics and modifies them and creates a song on their own and claims it for themselves. But you can do text to music. You can do text to voice. One of the interesting applications that is out there is from Google, called Notebook LM. Notebook LM enables you to take a document and feed it into their application, and it will create a podcast. And it's a podcast of two people commenting on the article that you've put into, or the document you've put into the application. And the voices are astounding. They're very human, and how they interact with the article is, as if they read and studied the article. And if you go to our website, the score.org/Boston, and look at our podcast, we've got a podcast out there using this technology. Uh, and people can use it for text to videos. This is probably the newest of the new, and it's getting better all the time. And it will be soon. I'm predicting that soon it will overtake even text to image as the most popular application that people will be using with generative AI. So with text to text, we've talked about ChatGPT. Microsoft has their version called Copilot. Google has their version called Gemini. There are three others out there for those that are perhaps a little more technical in nature, do some coding. They like to use an application called Perplexity. There's another application out there called Claude, which is very user friendly. And then X recently released their version of generative AI that they call Grok. And so those are three tools you can use today for text to text. You can do text to image using ChatGPT. It's called DALL-E on their platform. And really all you have to do is just go into the prompt and say, create an image, and it will know that you're calling up the DALL-E application behind the software. Microsoft has its version called Designer. And then if you're using Canva today to create marketing materials, they have an application within their software called Magic Media, where they'll take your text and convert it into media using AI. Text to slides, Tome is an application that a lot of people use, and Beautiful is another application that people use. Some are free, others have fees associated with them, but they all have pricing when you go to their sites. All right, David, back over to you.
So let's talk about how AI empowers small business. So we're talking about enhancing efficiency, engagement to your customers so that you're not sitting in the background and you want to have some growth. So let's go to the next slide. One of the things that people are using for customer service engagement is the automation of customer service. Instead of having a call center with the high cost of labor, we're using a more focused website and using chat bots like chat robots. And they're available obviously for 24/7, 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. And because of that, if it's done correctly, if it's programmed right, which is very easy to do with AI, you will support satisfaction and build loyalty with your customer base. Now we talk about an AI, the second point here, the AI powered CRM, customer relations manager, that database of your customers. Okay. You can personalize your sales to in each individual customers and also product recommendations so that there's a much higher buying rate. That's actually something that's very useful, but hard to do when you're trying to do it manual. So now you have that as an option. This sentiment analysis in the third bullet, that talks about getting customer feedback. Very often a business may not have enough time or lag behind on following up with feedback. Well, that feedback can actually be crunched into a way that's meaningful and understandable to you so that you can respond to it better. So what I'm putting here is you're able to put more focus, more attention on your customers and therefore get a greater engagement from your customer. Next slide, Rob. Okay. Some of the things that Rob had talked about, and I also added just in the chat another option as well, is this marketing and content creation. Okay. A lot of difficulty in the past was how do I create the right text? What kind of pictures am I going to put together? If I'm going to do a slide presentation, how can I make it the right way and not spend a lot of time? You know, this creation takes a lot of time, but there's a lot of marketing that we do. We do it by way of emails, and it may be through MailChimp or Constant Contact. It's also social media posts through Facebook, Instagram, and wherever. And also with all of these that are happening, what kind of lead scoring are you getting? You'll be able to track that more efficiently. These AI tools for content creation that we just talked about, and I also added a free one that in the chat, you can take a look at Crayon just to get educated by image generation. May not be perfect for what you want to use professionally, but now's the time to get innovative. You can increase your engagement with search engine optimization if you're using WordPress, for example, and you have a blog, and you can keep your blogs more active. A lot of things going on. If you have a daily post, then it'll be fresh and new each time. Your emails will be more professional, be more cleaner, will be more detailed, will be respectful, humble, an empathetic tone, or whatever tone you want to add it. So that way you can speak to the way you want people to hear you. AI is used in social media management with the scheduling. You know, there's peak times that are the best times for your type of business, for your type of posting to generate them. And you'll also get an idea of what is the suggested trending content or what kind of hashtag should I be doing. Next slide to Rob. The big thing in all of this is operations and efficiency. You know, everyone's trying to save money in their business. What they've been doing in the past is eliminating staff. Well, you can eliminate costs in other ways. Inventory and scheduling. You can manage your inventory so it's optimized to reduce costs. You can optimize your scheduling. For example, at a restaurant, where do I schedule my people so that I don't have an extra waiter or too few waiters, as an example. But you're going to be able to streamline your operations. And when I say operations, most often I'm talking about inventory and I'm talking about scheduling. And your bookkeeping can be automated. If for those that use QuickBooks, for example, you can organize how receipts and expenses are tracked that flow in. You know, take a picture and it goes directly into the integrator for QuickBooks so that all of that is automated. There's no sitting at the desk, playing with the laptop. Okay, what do I do with this paperwork? A lot of paperwork goes away, which increases your efficiency for better operations. And Rob, if you could, very good. So documentation and communication is something that's been around for thousands and thousands of years. Well, we can actually do it better because with generative AI, and we talked about what generative means, you put in a prompt and it generates something nice. You can get clear product policies, product descriptions, emails. If you have a website, if you have an Etsy website, you've made crafts, how do you describe those products you're selling? You know, sometimes you put in a short description and you might miss some important elements that your customer is looking for. Well, now you don't have to worry about that. You can put in write a complete product description on a pair of scissors that I'm selling on this website, and it'll give you a lot of detail. And you may need to go back, you know, and remember the A in AI means artificial. So, you know, do double check. Do not assume it's going to be exactly 100% perfect, but you'll still be impressed. Very good. And Rob, if you could turn the slide.
Okay, so let's talk about prompts. You know, prompts are specific instructions. It's input that you provide to the generative AI model to generate desired content. The prompts serve as a way for you to interact with the model and instruct it to either produce text or images or other types of contents based on the given input. So down below is a a sample of a prompt. You know, write a short story about a detective solving a mysterious murder case in a small, quiet town. You know, based on that prompt, the model will then generate a short story that fits the detective and the murder mystery theme. The thing about prompts is the more detailed that you can be in your prompt, the better or more satisfactory answer you're going to get from the model. So feel free to be extremely detailed in your prompts when using it. It's important to note that the quality and the relevance of the generated content depend on the quality of the AI model and the specificity of the prompt. Each of we talked about 6 AI models that are out there currently. Each of them use a platform behind them that's a little different than others. You know, ChatGPT has its own version. Microsoft uses a lot of what ChatGPT has. Google has its own version. Claude and Perplexity have their version. Some are built on the ChatGPT model, and then Grok is another proprietary platform. So depending on which model you're using, you could get different responses to your prompts. So well-crafted prompts can result in more accurate and contextually appropriate responses from the generative AI. And as David mentioned, you can put in things like, you know, write me a letter and make it sound professional, and it will do it. Or you could say, write me a letter with some humor, and it will insert some humor. So again, the more you can treat the model like you would be talking to another human being, the better and more satisfactory answer you're going to get from the model itself. Some AI models, they require tuning of prompts to achieve the desired output, as different prompts yield different results. The thing about AI is you can put in your first prompt and you could say, oh, I forgot to ask it this. Well, you just put another prompt in and it'll know the information from the first prompt, and it will just insert what you put in for the second prompt. And so you can use it to, and you can look at the result and say, okay, I like the image, but I'd like to see an image with no words on it. You could say, take out the words. It'll take out the words, produce the same image and take out the words. So we've been doing a lot of talking. What we thought we'd do is just take a break and give you guys a glimpse at some of the models that are out there. So with that, I'll see if I can call it up. And I don't know, Teresa, has there been any additional questions that have come up?
Yeah, so David's been catching a lot of them and he's typed answers into most of them. So I think we're okay with those.
Okay, great. All right. Let me get back here, share my screen. Okay, so the model that I like to use is ChatGPT. ChatGPT has a free version, and they also have what they call a premium version. I'm on the premium version. What you get with the premium version is a little faster response time, and what you also get is more current information. This is really up to date as of even today. So that's my tool of choice, but there's also, Microsoft, there's Google, Perplexity, Claude, and also Grok to use out there. So um, just trying to think of a prompt we could put in, and I'm going to actually put in an image prompt. So what I'm going to say is provide an image and a photo of a man sitting on a park bench in Central Park. Oh, let's say Boston Common. On Boston Common with his dog, who is a corgi, sleeping next to him. Let's see what that yields. You could imagine if you're in the real estate business and you're talking with clients and you're trying to get an idea of what types of houses that they might be interested in, you could actually sit down with them and say, well, are you interested in a colonial? Or are you interested in a ranch? Are you interested in, contemporary? You could actually sit there with them, get their what they're looking for in a house and have an image of the house come up and they go, that's it. That's the kind of house we're looking for. And that's going to just help the real estate agent find that house all that much faster by having them do it. Okay, while it's working on that, I'm going to also come in and let's see, think of another prompt that we could put in here, which would be just kind of text to text. Let's see.
If you want, I've got one that I will share.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll share my screen if I may.
Okay.
Okay. So we're on screen one. This is just quick, fast. This one says, and I've already typed it in, evaluate use case studies using framework SWOT, which is strength, weakness, opportunities, threat, announces Porter's 5 forces, the 4 P's of marketing, and the STAR methods for smart goal setting and create examples. And here I wrote sales of hardware tools in Boston. So when I enter this, it'll give me a report of all these things that I asked it to do. And that's what I have put in, STAR method. So it's generating that now. And that all, I'll just scroll up while it's generating. You saw how fast it is I need a SWOT analysis, Porter's 5 forces, the 4 P's of market. This is for, for those that are in marketing. And this all related to sales of hardware tools in Boston. So if you're thinking of starting a business, I want to sell hardware. What's it going to be like if I try that in Boston? There it is. And when you go here, see where it says copy? I can click copy and put that into a report. And that it was just done. Another thing I do is, I'll just add another example I do quite commonly. Write in B1 English with positive, respectful encouragement, with humble empathy, no hyphens, add detail. If I were to write, I hate the idea of going to the concert. I don't like that music. So that's a very negative thing. Let's see what it kicks back. I understand how you feel. It sounds like going to the concert is not something you are looking forward to, especially because of that kind of music is not your favorite. So I can rewrite as first person speaking to someone else. So I can make an update to the other one. I want to be honest with you. I really don't and do not enjoy that kind of music. So the idea of going to the concert does not make me feel excited. I know it might be something you like, and I respect that. It's just not my style, and blah blah blah. But anyways, I didn't want to spend a lot of time, but I wanted to share with you. What I will do is I'll stop my share, and I'll
Okay.
put these prompts into the chat for everyone.
All right.
Back to you,
And
Rob.
with that, thank you. And here's our image. Now, there are a couple of issues with this. It was probably the way I designed the prompt, but the first is that it only gave me a photo. I asked it for an image and a photo. But it also, I wanted a photo of the corgi sleeping, but it also interpreted it to mean that, well, both of them must be sleeping. But you can see in behind, I asked for the Boston Common. It did a nice job of bringing up the Boston Common behind there. So, again, if I needed to modify this, I could just put in a modification. It would regenerate the image for me. Um, and, the more specific I am with the tool, the better the outcome I'm going to get as a result. All right, so back to our slide presentation. So, we're really talking a lot about prompts, and this is the new cottage industry that is coming. People that know how to write effective prompts are the ones that are really going to harness the power of AI. And as David said earlier, AI is not going to put you out of business. It's the people using AI that are going to put you out of business. And so the more that people can harness the power of the tools, the more effective they're going to be in doing their business. So be clear and specific. Use a natural language approach. You can talk to it just like you're talking to another human being. You don't have to put any special code in. You don't have to put any special words in. Just talk at it with natural language. Provide context. If you're too brief, it may not really understand what you're asking it to do. So the more context you can provide, the easier it will be for them to give you your desired output. Specify the format. Do you want a picture? Do you want a video? Do you want a spreadsheet? Do you want contract? What's the format that you're interested in getting? Ask open-ended questions. It's the thing about all of these tools is they're very polite. No matter what you put in, no matter how mad you might be, it'll come back with a very polite, professional answer. And experiment and iterate. Iterate means to take your prompt, modify it, put it back in again, see what kind of results you get. Use examples and references. Check for any kind of biases. A lot of us have, kind of hidden biases that we don't realize that we have. And sometimes when you put a prompt in, you get a result back and you go, huh, that's interesting. I wonder why it came back that, oh, it's the way I put the question in. I have some hidden bias that I didn't realize I had. Review and refine and, respect ethical guidelines. I think just about every tool out there, if you try to put profanity in or something, of a sexual nature, it's going to come back and say, I'm sorry, but we're not really, giving answers to those kinds of questions. And then so the more that you're straightforward, ethical, use it professionally, you'll be happy. So how do you get started? If you haven't already, worked with any of the tools, decide which one you want to use. And as we mentioned, Google itself has Gemini right into it in its search window. So you can it incorporates Gemini, but you can also get access to Gemini right from their search window. Microsoft has incorporated Copilot into their Microsoft Office. And then ChatGPT is just was the first out, and it's the most well known and probably the most adopted of them all. And interesting thing about Google is that people are now choosing ChatGPT over Google to do their searches because ChatGPT gathers up a variety of resources and then puts it in a nice organized response. Whereas with Google, you get all the listings, but you have to kind of go through each one and piece them all together, and that could be cumbersome. So ChatGPT is having a real impact on Google and Google's search business. Get your prompts together. Think through what you want to ask the tool. Open up the tool, enter your prompt, review the results, uh, edit your prompt if necessary, re-enter the edited prompt, and review the edit and results as needed, and create your final copy. As David showed, you can take and select copy, and you can copy paste the result from what you're getting from the tool and put it into a Word document or some other PowerPoint, etc. So that is the end of our prepared remarks. Do we have any lingering questions out there?
I think there's one that we may have missed. I'm not sure, but let's talk about it. Will those backgrounds from the image you generated get you in trouble for copyright issues?
It depends on your citation. In your citation, for example, if you're a contributing writer, you have to indicate the title, then, for example, slash an image courtesy of, and then it could be wherever you got the source. I'll give you an example. If you hired Rob on Fiverr, for example, fiverr.com, hire as a freelance. I'm not saying he works there. I'm using him as an example. But if you hire a freelancer on Fiverr, then you would indicate image courtesy of, and that's where you would. So you just have to cite the source, because now that when you hire a freelancer, for example, you don't know what tools they're using. Now, if you create an image yourself, then you would indicate image like if you use ChatGPT, like if Rob used that, and just right at the bottom, sort of as that part of that meta tag of that image courtesy of open.ai.
And I think we had a question earlier. If you're using AI to pull content from your own website and then creating something, how would you deal with that? Would you have to cite that as well?
Well, it's your own intellectual property. So you may want to cite it as more of marketing on your end, that you're the lead expertise. So I would recommend it, but would you have to? No, because it's your own intellectual property, if and only if it's your own website. Now, if your own website has content from elsewhere, then that in itself would need to be cited as well.
Yeah, so are there any other questions that we may have missed along the way? Please go ahead and put those in chat now so that we can get those questions answered.
Yeah,
Never really said.
Go ahead, Rob.
I'll just add to what David said around copyright. A lot of these issues are waiting for court cases and for precedent to be set. And so, proceed with caution. Do as David said. You make sure you cite your source so you're covered that way. But they asked the CEO of OpenAI one time, and he was in a Senate hearing. He said, "I've created something using your tool, and I've started using it. Who owns the content?" And he said, "You do. You created the content. You own the content." Now, you didn't lift it from a published material out there. You put in the prompt, and the information that came back may have sounded a lot like coming from that particular article, but it was something that came from your prompt. So from at least from his perspective, you created the prompt, so you own the content. Um,
Okay, let's see. Oh, David answered that one. Why do we have to cite images as AI generated but not resourced stock images?
Because it's not. Resource stock like Getty Images is Getty Images. Images from AI is images from AI. So companies like Getty Images and Unsplash and all the others are separating themselves. For example, AI images are not allowed to be uploaded to Unsplash. They're all deleted very quickly. So they have to be cited separately and independently. They are two separate categories.
Yeah, and I do have a question about the program slides. We didn't really intend to share the program slides. Obviously, you can see the recording. I do understand not having a copy of some of the answers in chat Q&A, and I'd be happy to send a follow-up email to everyone with information that's in there that you might find useful.
and also
Go
for
ahead.
everybody that's joined today, we have a parting gift for you. We have a buying guide. And in the buying guide, we review uh, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, and Grok. And we tell you what you get with the free versions, and we tell you what you get with the paid versions. And we give you use cases, we give you applications, and we give you how people are using the different platforms. So, and we give you the links so that you can go out and experiment and choose your platform of choice. So, our gift to you.
Okay, and we'll get that into an email to everyone with a link to the recording and any information that was in chat and Q&A that you might need. Um, we'll try and get that in there as well. Um, let's see. Buying guide being sent with the
There
recording.
was a
Yes.
question how AI tools block unwanted emails. I didn't see a place where I could upload it, so I will send that to Teresa, who will in turn send it to you. But I have a document that's a couple pages and gives I shared some of the tools, but some of the popular AI tools for blocking unwanted emails are CleanFox, Inbox Zapper, and others. So I will have that sent out to you as well. It's a two-page PDF that we'll send out to you.
But of course,
You'll see it says at the top perplexity. That's because that's where it was generated from. I generated it as we were doing this webinar.
allowing for score emails to come through because we need those.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This was for a person asking a question.
No, I was making a joke. Okay, well, I think that gets us to the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David and Rob, for putting together all this great information. Please watch for this follow-up email with all the information that you've all asked for. And we hope to see you in the future on a future webinar. Thank you, everyone.